respiratory and kennel cough, and I mean it's pretty horrendous, and then you have to isolate it from all the other animals, and especially when we do what we do, we're dealing with 15, 20 plus animals daily.
Right. And then I mean in the shelters, what are they going to do if this starts coming through? And so
one last story that I want to get to today is it's out there for the Democrats and Republicans. For the first time ever, senior Democrats and Republicans have come together to propose a bill to allow the FBI to track and prosecute animal abuse across state lines. The bill, will aptly named the Prevent Animal Cruelty and Torture Act, PACT, will enable federal prosecutors to monitor and go after abuse cases on federal property, interstate highways, and on the sale of animals that may cross state lines.
Now, this one is very important to me, and I want to touch base about it some more because, I mean, Democrats and Republicans, but they came together. Wow.
Wow, and over animals, can you believe it?
Right. So
gives us a little more credibility, doesn't it?
You know, these people, when you're dealing with situations when it's animal cruelty, I mean, and you see the aftermath of what these people can do to these animals.
Absolutely.
But
we'll talk more about this when we come back, and also we'll have our pet of the week, which is Gipper.
Oh, Gipper.
So you are listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Experience a luxury boutique hotel escape in the heart of Laguna Beach, California. With the finest art galleries, shopping, dining, and nightlife just steps from your door. The heart of Laguna Beach, the edge of the sea. It's the Inn at Laguna Beach. Enjoy our comfortable rooms, blending the style of a timeless beach bungalow with the modern comforts of today. 70 newly appointed guest rooms and suites await you at the Inn at Laguna Beach. Then, relax at the rooftop bar, where you'll indulge in breathtaking views of the ocean. For dining, you'll find libations and local cuisine on the California coastline, including dining at the legendary Las Brisas, a Southern California landmark. The Inn at Laguna Beach, footsteps from room to village to sea, located in the heart of Laguna Beach. The Inn is within walking distance of all that Laguna Beach has to offer. No car required. The Inn at Laguna Beach, 211 North Coast Highway in Laguna Beach, California. Call 800-544-4479 or visit inatlagunabeach.com.
I am a non-attorney spokesperson. Attention men who've taken Androgel or any other testosterone therapy products. Androgel or other low-T products have been linked to heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, even death. Scientific studies indicate that the use of testosterone therapy products may double a man's risk of heart attack. If you or a loved one took Androgel or a testosterone therapy product and suffered from a heart attack, stroke, pulmonary embolism, deep vein thrombosis, or any other cardiac event, you might be entitled to financial compensation. You have rights, and you need to let us fight for your rights. And you pay no fees unless we win. So call the tort attorneys right now. 800-557-7921. 800-557-7921. That's 800-557-7921. Cases may be referred to participating law firms in your jurisdiction.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Who do we have here?
This is Gipper. So Gipper would have been on our medical segment before, but now he's nice and healthy and he's ready for adoption.
And seems very, very happy and playful there.
He's a silly little man. So Gipper's story was he was in a home and he was actually attacked by another dog. And so he had injuries due to that. And unfortunately, the person that was trying to help him get away from that dog got bit in the process. So then he went on quarantine for a bite.
Wait, and how long ago was this?
Yeah. How long ago was this? He was about, now we're talking about 2, maybe 3 months ago.
So, and he is how old now?
Now he is about 6 months old.
So he went on a bite quarantine at 3 months old.
Yes. And he was injured, and it wasn't his fault. The guy was actually trying to help him.
I'm sorry. He went on a bite.
Yes.
Let me repeat that again. A bite quarantine at 3 months old.
Yes. When another dog
How does that
attacked
make
him.
sense that a 3-month-old, because he's vicious, right?
And he was being attacked. So I actually was in a big thing trying to make sure and get him out because he needed medical attention. And if there's a bite, they're on quarantine.
And let's take this a little further. So, what shelter was this? Do you mind me asking?
It was Downey.
Okay, so we have a 3-month-old with a bite record in Downey, and had you not fought for him after the 10-day hold, he would have been.
Actually, due to his medical, I don't think that he would have made it after the 10-day hold. He wouldn't have come out. And again, I mean, it's very difficult because they have rules that are like blanket rules. If there's a bite, this is what happens. If there's medical, this is what happens.
Which is, again, why we say people need to get involved. So they need to understand, the way the system works. Not everybody agrees with it. If
they break skin,
yes.
Even if it's a 6-week-old little puppy that's got
or
the
3-month-old little
teeth,
puppy,
exactly. And this guy was just defending himself. The gentleman that was trying to help him get away from the other dog is the one who got bit. So,
well, here's another loaded question. Would you, and I'm not advocating this, but would you, as an animal owner, if your 3-month-old puppy bit you, would you make a report about that?
I never saw it happen.
And I'm not advocating that we don't report bite records. I'm not.
Right.
I'm not advocating that. But I think there needs to be a gray line, and there's so many people that don't see that.
Well, with county, there's not really a gray line. I mean, they have no gray. It's black and white. And so he did break skin, even though he wasn't at fault.
And that's why we're private enterprise, right?
Exactly. So he was protecting himself and accidentally got the guy. And then he had medical because he had he had actually 2 severe fractures in his back leg. And so.
And was the severe fractures from the fight?
From the bite.
So from the other dog attacking him,
yes,
a 3-month-old puppy had 2 fractures.
Yes.
And out of fear and probably pain, he bit a handler, a human, and then he went on a 10-day.
Then that human went on to turn him into the shelter. So then you have he has 2 strikes against him in a shelter.
Yes.
So he's got a bite, and so he's got a bite on record, and he's got medical. And so those are 2 reasons that he wouldn't have made it out of the shelter. So we went in, and on one of my crazy days of like, let's see how many medical I could pull today.
And let me just explain what she means when she says crazy days. So Miss Hackett over here will go in with maybe 5, 6, maybe 9 crates at a time because she knows when she goes into the medical section, she's probably going to take all or most. And she'll go in with that many crates. And then what will happen is there'll probably be like 12 to 15 medical cases, and she'll just borrow crates from the shelter to take all 15 all at once.
Yeah, those are the days. So Gipper was actually one. I came in and then I saw him, and then I kept coming back for him. I was like, "Come on, guys, we need to get him released." And even after the 10-day mandatory quarantine, you have to wait for county to release him, and then I have to get their permission. And so at AFA, we really fought for this guy. And
so how do they find more information about this little guy or adopt him?
Well, now Gipper, because we work together very often, so I will pull the I'll be the crazy lady going in there pulling out 20 dogs at a time, and then they stay with us until they're better, And then we work with PawWorks. And so Gipper is all healthy now and ready to go. So he'll be available at PawWorks this week. So you can give him PawWorks.
He will, but probably until about Tuesday, he's still going to be with Animal Foundation of America. So if you're interested from today until Tuesday, look up online Animal Foundation of America. And then after Tuesday, this little guy will be coming to PawWorks, which is pawworks.org.
You want to be on the speaker?
Say goodbye, Gipper.
Bye-bye.
Again, thank you for listening. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanasin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanasin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Many couples fight when it comes to money. Investment advisor David Bach.
And in fact, we see it's consistently the number one cause of divorce. It's fighting over money. So then I said, I'm going to go out and study my clients who have been married 20, 25, 30, 40 years. They're well off financially, and they're happy. I'm going to look at what did these couples do differently.
And what did he find? Unhappy couples budget, weighing almost every purchase they make.
The couples that were happy and had done well and had over $500,000 in savings, they made a decision to work together as a couple on their financial plan early, and they just agreed very early on in their relationship on a percentage of their income that they would pay themselves first. And that they would take money right off the top, not use a budget, typically 10% of their income or more, and put it in a retirement account.
David Bach's book, Smart Couples Finish Rich. Tomorrow, who manages the money in a relationship? That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Okay, so who do we have here?
Well, our next section, and every week we're going to be doing this, it's called Jet's Joint. And today we have Dragster. But why don't we give a little bit of background on why we call it Jet's Joint and what it's all about?
Well, Jet's Joint, you and I, we had talked about it, and Jet was a Great Dane lab mix that was very, very important to me. And so Liz was his owner, and I can go through a lot of history. I mean, there's a lot of things with this guy, but really Jet brought me into the medical of the dog world. So
thank you, Liz.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Liz, and thank you, Jet. So all those trips that I make where it's like, okay, I don't have enough crates. How many more dogs can I put in here and get them to the veterinarian?
It's all thankful to Jet and Liz.
Yes, Jet and Liz. And so they really did change my life. And unfortunately, Jet has since passed away, but he still lives. He still lives with me. I think about him every day. And Jet's Joint is I'm very passionate about it and very important. And so this segment is like very close to my heart because these guys.
It's dedicated to Jet.
Yes, it is. And these guys are still like they're here. And so we want to talk Jet's Joint. It's medical recovery spa. And so you guys pulled this guy out of Camarillo because they believed there was something medical with him, right?
Yes. So this is Dragster. He's actually a 7-year-old. They're calling him a Chihuahua Dachshund mix. Very, very sweet. Loves everybody. When we found him in the medical ward, like you do so many,
dangerous place for me.
It's a dangerous place for us as well. However, they believed it was neurological. They believed he was paralyzed. It happens all the time. You know, dogs get hit by a car. They felt that he would probably never walk. He might need surgery. They weren't quite sure. People have to realize when you go into a shelter in the vet, they have 200-300 animals that they're taking care of. So they can't run all the blood work, all the x-rays.
Well, they don't have the money. They can't do it.
But people think
and
they
don't
do.
have the staff.
I mean, I was just recently, on a side note, I was recently at the shelter and a woman surrendered a dog and it had Cushing's disease. And she knew about it. And she did not tell the shelter that it had it because she felt they would know. They would figure it out.
Cushing's is difficult enough to detect.
Exactly.
You know, so every day.
You got to realize that, you know, when these guys come in, the shelter does what they can for them. It's, you know, if it's an emergency, most of them contract, with outside hospitals, 24-hour hospitals that they'll do.
But that's
surgeries
limited too. It's limited what they can afford.
It is.
Or what they'll do. Like there's rules about that too. So now this guy
is Dragster. So we pulled him out. We immediately made, you know, he didn't seem in pain. We've seen him kind of pick up his legs, so we thought, maybe with a little water therapy, acupuncture, you know, we could actually get him to walk again. So we took him to our vet first,
which is Matt
Stanman in Somas Veterinary Hospital. Great guy, and he did, you know, just an overall physical. Checked him out, did some x-rays, and we actually found that it's not neurological at all. No neurology issues whatsoever, as it seems. But basically, I'm going to read the terms like you did last week.
Okay, yeah.
So forgive my slaughtering of the English language. It's a medial luxating patella on the left grade, a ruptured cruciate on the right full tear. And he has basically an awkward gait. But basically, in our terms, layman terms, he has a broken hip and he's having some knee issues. So he's basically going to need 2 different surgery. It's something called an FHO.
Look at him.
Look at the little guy. It's basically, they're going to do a hip surgery and repair it. And then after that, probably 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how quickly he recovers, he'll be having knee surgery.
Okay.
So typically, what this is going to run us is about $1,200 for both surgeries, which is a great price for both surgeries.
Oh, yeah. It's a rescue rate, which is amazing.
Yes.
It's
so
amazing.
we have to give a shout out to
yeah.
We have to give a shout out to our vets. For this little guy, it's going to be Matt Stanman out in Somas Veterinary Hospital. So we have to give him the shout out because without those discounts, I mean, normally these 2 surgeries would probably be $3,000 to $5,000.
Right.
So it's a huge medical fee for any rescue that they take on. But this little guy, he's going to go into surgery on the 28th for his first surgery. And we are always looking for donations because we are a 501c profit.
Right.
And everything goes right back to these little guys. So if you'd actually like to donate, you can actually go to paulworks.org /donate. You can actually come into our store at the Oaks Mall. We have a store there. And you can, donate at the register. Or you can mail it in at 79 East Daly Drive, Suite 515. That's Camarillo, California, 93010. But this guy, like I said, dragster, sweetheart, loves everybody. He's about 7 years old. He will be up for adoption after all his surgeries.
Now, something I want to mention about this, because, and that's one of the key things to Jets Joint, because we want to try to raise money, obviously, for Dragster, and so that we're able to cover his procedure and then find him a forever home.
Absolutely.
Now, the thing that I don't really, the public I want to bring across to them is this guy would not have made it out of the shelter.
He would not have.
Okay.
Well, he would have out of Ventura, because they are actually...
Well, they're reaching out more to other
Yes.
rescues, and so they're really trying. But these guys with these extreme medical, unless a rescue like
Yes.
Paul Works comes in and is able to pull him out, they simply, like, he's not adoptable in the condition
Yes.
he was in. So so a rescue essentially has to come in and be able to pull him out of there. So...
And who knows how long he would have sat at the shelter, everybody believing that he had neurological issues, and it was basically just the way he was.
And if it is neurological, like very often in the shelter, they could simply think that it's quality of life. And the shelter, they can't do those extensive tests like
Yes.
Paul Works has already done for this guy to determine, no, he's hurt and he needs a surgery.
Absolutely.
So if they think it's something that he's not going to be able to recover for and he wouldn't have quality of life, then they would, that would be the shelter, they have so many, and so that would be a time where they would put to sleep. So thankfully for this guy, Paul Works stepped up, and so he's here giving you all kinds of love.
He is. That's why I'm not talking. He's giving me kisses.
Yeah, he's busy. He's got to give you some love. So,
but I do have to say too, even beyond this surgery, I'm not quite sure what Animal Foundation of America spends monthly, but I can imagine if it's anywhere near Paul Works, which we spend easily $8,000 to $10,000 a month on vet bills. That's anything from spay and neuters to surgeries like this,
right? Or even medication
for Cushing's and URIs,
right?
Kennel cough, you name it, we pay for it, and we do get that rescue discount. But still, $8,000 to $10,000 a month. I don't know many people that would be able to dig in their pockets and be able to help us. So any donations for this little guy, paulworks.org. Or you can actually...
All right. Well, thank you so much. You're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-793-1960. 800-793-1960.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960, 800-793-1960.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Okay, so we kind of got cut off a little bit because we were just looking at how adorable he is. But let's talk a little bit more about how we work, like how rescues work when we're trying to fund these medical cases.
Yes. So one thing we actually do, and we're a little different than some rescues out there, is when we go into the shelter, we go in with an idea of what we can do, what we can't do, and we try to stick very clean to that, because when you don't, you can get. I mean, I was in there the other day, and I went in for 4, and I came out with 6.
Right.
So it's very easy to get caught up because you see all these little guys and the big guys, and you're like, I want to help them all. And I'm actually very level-headed when it comes to all this, but
I should have a little more of that.
But I basically go in, I pull the animals, and then, usually if it's an emergency case, that goes directly to the 24-hour emergency. If not, we usually give them about 24 hours and we make our appointment. From there, if there's a surgery needed, we then will just plan it. We don't ask for donations right off the bat. We always get pictures and videos so people understand. We put the bills out there. Anybody can always see that. We're 100% transparent. That's one thing that I believe that any rescue or nonprofit needs to be, is 100% transparent about it, and where their money goes. And then we just schedule the surgeries. And then as it's coming up, we post on Facebook, which we have about 36,000 followers currently, and the money comes in. But
more people can like those Facebook pages.
They
so
can.
Your Paw Works is your Facebook page.
We are.
And mine is Animal Foundation of America. And any of the dogs that we talk about here can definitely be, they can check up on those dogs. So what I want to talk about too is, because I don't have that level-headedness. And you.
But you're honest about it.
Yeah, sometimes if you look at I'm like, oh my God. But I know even there was a day where I was talking to you and Christina Morgan, and I said, guys, what did I do here? Because I went in, and actually I went in for Gipper, because I had committed to taking him at another date, and I was fighting for him, and trying to get him off of, quarantine. And then I came home, with 26 that day.
Oh.
26. So one was a set of moms and puppies, but so it was like, okay, so I excuse that part.
Speechless.
Yeah.
So normally this will be our call-in section, and it looks like we have Linda from Washington on line 1.
Okay, so let's go ahead. Hello, Linda. It's Christina and Chad. How are you?
Hi, Christina. Hi, Chad. How are you guys doing?
We're wonderful. How are you?
I'm holding in there. Watching a sick puppy today.
Oh,
Aww.
What's going on?
Oh, he's old. Having some.
So you called in. What are your thoughts? What are your ideas? What did you call about today?
Well, I called about the importance of fostering. I've been hearing your stories about the medical dogs, and I think that a lot of people out there don't know how much they can help just by fostering a dog.
That is absolutely true. We Paw Works could not do it without our fosters. I think currently we have about 30 to 40 animals in foster that people don't know about. And these fosters are amazing. We always ask that a foster takes an animal like they're their own, and they do. They treat them as their own. We cover all the medical. But a lot of times we find that the fosters are amazing, and they pick up the food tab, and the little things that when they need to go take them to the vet, they take care of. So fostering is crucial. We could not do it without fostering.
Now, I want to touch base on this a little bit with you too, Linda, because you're absolutely right. As a rescue group, we can do so much. I have 112 kittens right now. 112. It's kitten season. So I've got kittens everywhere. Now, and there's different ways that you can do it. And I know I've talked to a number of different people, but even if you just in your local community just said, okay, let's get together, when you do those PTA meetings or whatever meetings you're doing, hey, let's put together a foster group, and then maybe they can, okay, I've got this foster, I got this foster, because sometimes they just need a couple weeks. Like Gipper here, after his surgery, he just needed somewhere for someone to love on him.
Absolutely.
Until he's ready for adoption.
And you know what? We'll have more information about fostering and how you can foster for our groups or other groups on crntalk.com. But let's get to, it looks like we have Teresa on.
Thank you so much for calling in,
Yes,
Linda.
thank you. But we have Teresa on line 2, and we don't want to miss out on her.
All right.
She's out of Thousand Oaks.
From Thousand Oaks. Welcome.
Hello?
Hi,
Yes.
Teresa.
Hi.
How?
I've got a training question.
Okay, well, we're not trainers, but we'll try to answer them.
I have a black lab, 7 months old, named Bella, who is just completely out of control.
Okay.
So I wanted some advice on how to deal with her.
What kind of issues are you having? Like, how is she out of control?
Jumping, not listening, barking constantly.
Okay, so it sounds like you said she was 7 months old, right?
She's
so
7 months old.
Sounds
right?
like she needs stimulation.
Yeah.
A lot
now,
of
do you
play
have
and activity. Is
this-
she getting that?
Well, I walk her every day.
Okay. Have you considered, because sometimes there's play groups for dogs, so maybe she needs some socialization. I mean, it's really tough to say unless you get, there are some really great trainers in Thousand Oaks, and I'd be happy to, take your number and we can connect you with some, because I know some really, really fantastic, trainers that I work with in the, at the shelter. So
absolutely.
That would be fantastic. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, we'll actually get you offline, and we'll actually get your phone number, and then
and we'll get that
Christina will call
information.
you.
Yes, sounds great.
And when we come back, we'll actually get Daniel, who's in Thousand Oaks as well, but because we don't want to miss out on him.
Okay, so you're listening to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Kaanapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Kaanapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kvhmaui.com. That's kvhmaui.com. Aloha.
Kaanapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Who handles the money in your relationship? Investment advisor David Bach.
The biggest issue I see with couples is that often one person in the relationship manages the money. And 20 years ago, it was typically the husband. And the wife was not that involved in the finances. Now, that's changing. What I've seen as a financial advisor is that if you're not both involved with the finances, it can really lead to a world of hurt.
Especially if that person dies first or the marriage ends.
The average age of widowhood in this country is still 55. That means for women, if you're listening, statistically, 9 out of 10 of you will manage the money at some point in your life for your family. Whether it's because of widowhood or divorce, you will be in charge of the finances. The time to be involved in the finances is now.
That means seeing the records, the paper trail, taking stock of assets, and talking about a long-range plan together. David Bach's book, Smart Couples Finish Rich. That's Primetime Focus, brought to you by AARP. I'm Aileen Ellis.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Hi, I'm Larry Minetti from Magnum PI. Remember me? I played Rick. And over the years, I've been asked so many times to republish my book, Aloha Magnum, which is a 5-star hit. Well, folks, I did it. If you want to see the behind-the-scenes episodes and all the naughty things that went on Magnum PI, you go to the internet and punch up LarryMinetti.com, and Aloha Magnum is there at your reach. I thank you for your loyalty. Take care, folks.
Welcome back to Rescue Radio on CRN Digital Talk Radio. And before we left, we had Daniel from Thousand Oaks on line 3. Daniel, are you there?
Daniel?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. How are you today, Daniel?
I'm so excited. I listen to you guys literally all the time.
All the time.
All the time. You're my favorite radio station.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I just have a quick question. I have a small cat named Tootie, and I love her so much, and I wanna just snuggle her all the time.
Okay.
But she does nothing but claw my face.
Oh.
Or anything that if I pick her up on my hand, she'll claw my hand. Anything like that. So it's really upsetting. Is there anything I can do about that?
It's a dog or a cat?
No, it's a cat.
Tootie's a cat.
Okay. I wanted to get that clear. I was like, claw.
Well, is she doing it for play? I mean, maybe if you had some different play toys that she could take instead of your face.
I mean, well, it's not really that. It's not super funny because it hurts a lot. But the point of the matter is I think she really enjoyed it, though. It's sad.
Well, I would get her a little toy so that she could play with that. I would just get her more toys.
And probably not put her up to your face. I know you want to cuddle her, but maybe away from the face, the chest, the...
All right. Well, thank you very much for calling, and you have a good time with Tootie. And we're just wrapping it up here today. So I
have a question.
Yes.
Would you continue putting that cat to your face if it clawed your face every time?
Well, I mean, he loves his cat. He loves his cat.
I love my animals too, but if they bite my face or claw my face, I think it's time to take away from my face.
Yeah, well, we make exceptions for our own pets sometimes. So, okay, so just to recap to this week's show, we had the Pet of the Week, Pet Adoption, which is Gipper. Okay, so he's the awesome 5-month-old terrier mix, and he'll be available through PawWorks,
which is pawworks.org.
Mm-hmm. And then you have our Jets Joints medical case,
which is Dragster. Remember, Dragster is going to be going in on the 28th for his first surgery, and then 4 to 6 weeks after that, he'll be having his second surgery. Both are going to cost PawWorks about $1,200. So if you'd like to help with that and donate, you can go to pawworks.org/donate.
Which is an incredible thing that you guys are doing for him. And then we also have one of our callers mentioned fostering, which is extremely important. So if you're interested in fostering, please feel free to contact PawWorks or Animal Foundation of America or any of your local rescues out there. Like, we can all use foster groups. So that's an important part too.
And before we leave, do you have any upcoming events coming up?
You know what? I think I'm going to be busy with kitten season here for a while, so I'm going to have lots of kittens. 112. We went up to 112.
Hear that, audience. 112 kittens right now.
It's kitten season. Spay and neuter your pets.
And I do want to get out there right now. We have tickets on sale for our Champagne Brunch, which is coming up July 12th. It's Barks and Bubbles Champagne Brunch at Westlake Village Inn. You can buy tickets at Bark in Bubble, which is BARKN BUBBLE.org.
Okay, and then also I want to just recap real quick the event that they have, Sleepover at the Shelter, because that's coming up on June 12th.
And I think that's a great thing. I think, if more shelters can get people involved in a different way,
well, let's bring awareness. Like, let's let people see what's going on out there and what the shelter life is really like for these animals. They're not just going there and living in a resort.
And I'm assuming that you can get more information either through the Downey Animal Shelter website or Facebook, or also Shelter Me Park Avenue Foundation.
Yeah, and I have it on my Facebook actually also. So if they just go to Animal Foundation of America, then I've got the link on there and they can get more information from
And
there.
it'll be on our blog. So if you need information like that about any of the stories we had today, you can go into crntalk.com, look for Rescue Radio blog, which should be coming up here in the next day or two.
Well, thank you so much, Chad. I had a great time with you today.
Christina.
Exciting. You barely made it, but I'm glad you did. So, well, now let's, so we've got recap. So I have Gipper.
We have Dragster.
Okay.
Both are going to be at pawworks.org. Any questions, you can call us. It's 805-616-4101 to ask any questions about these two animals.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to Radio Rescue on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
Which was most appropriate because that was your theme.
Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all in true CRN HD audio. Sports, business, travel, food, wine, politics, there is something for everyone, and it's all available in CRN High Definition Sound. Log on to www.crntalk for listings and information on all your favorite shows. That's www.crntalk.com.
The radio channel. The radio channel. CRN.
With SRN News, I'm Rhonda Rockstrup. The prosecutor in the case against a Cleveland police officer acquitted today in the deaths of 2 unarmed suspects says he respects the judge's decision and urges others to do the same. Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Tim McGinty says despite the outcome, the trial served a purpose.
The trial forced us to examine how and why so many errors were made and flawed assumptions made, and that could have led to the deaths of 2 unarmed people.
Officer Michael Brelo could have received 28 years in prison if he was found guilty of voluntary manslaughter in the 2012 incident. The suspects died in a barrage of police gunfire after a long car chase. Also at SRNnews.com, National Weather Service meteorologist Matt Stawley says storms in the forecast for North Texas this holiday weekend present quite a bit of danger, particularly for anyone planning any outdoor activities.
There's a lot of river and lake closures because of all the debris that's in the water that gets picked up by these floodwaters. There's additional threats for flash flooding for people that are out camping.
In his weekly address this week, President Obama says this Memorial Day weekend we should think of America's military men and women who serve around the world.
Our men and women in uniform continue to serve and risk their lives. In Afghanistan, our troops now have a new mission, training and advising Afghan forces.
Meanwhile, Texas Republican Mac Thornberry gave the GOP address saying the president should honor troops by backing a defense authorization bill that provides them with the benefits they've earned and the tools and resources that they need to complete their missions.
I think we have to do more than honor the fallen, however. We have a duty to honor what they fought for, so that in the words of Lincoln at Gettysburg, we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain.
Most of southern Nevada, along with parts of Utah, felt a magnitude 4.8 earthquake Friday, shaking buildings more than 100 miles away. This is SRN News.
According to Forbes magazine, Saudi Arabia's Prince Al-Walid, with over $21 billion, is the 35th richest person in the world. Being a Saudi prince, you just naturally assume he inherited his money, which I'm sure is partly true. However, he made a lot of his money by investing in banking and financial services, hotels and hotel management companies, mass media, entertainment, retail, agriculture, petrochemicals, aviation technology, and real estate all over the world. He's making money off about anything people buy anywhere. You may not be a Saudi prince, but you can make money on about anything people buy almost anywhere by getting your free blue card. The Blue Card is a loyalty rewards card that not only gets you discounts on purchases, but up to 5% cash back on what you buy. If you refer someone to the Blue Card, you could earn money on what they buy. And if you refer the Blue Card to a business, you could earn on the purchases of anyone who uses the Blue Card in their store or almost anywhere.
To get your free Blue Card, go to BlueCardShopping.com. That's BlueCardShopping.com. BlueCardShopping.com.
Mexican prosecutors are questioning 3 survivors following a 3-hour gun battle at a ranch in the west of the country in which 44 people died. The combined military and federal police operation was spearheaded against the Jalisco New Generation Drug Cartel. SRN's James Blears has more.
Responding to a tip-off about heavily armed men overrunning El Rancho del Sol in the western state of Michoacan, a task force of federal police and troops was sent to the scene, where they were immediately fired upon. Mexican National Security Commissioner Monte Alejandro Rubido explains that a 3-hour gun battle ensued, during which security forces called upon air cover. The majority of the dead are gunmen from the Jalisco New Generation Drug Cartel, but 2 federal police officers died and another is gravely wounded. 3 surviving gunmen have been arrested and are being questioned. For SRN News, I'm James Blears in Mexico.
More than 40 rifles were recovered, plus rocket launchers and a .50 caliber Barrett sniper rifle. This is SRN News. The Senate's passed a bill further expanding a law giving veterans easier access to federally paid medical care from private doctors.
The bill relaxes a rule that makes getting specialized care from local doctors difficult for some veterans in rural areas. Senators approved the measure by voice vote Friday. The Senate bill would open up private care to veterans who live within 40 miles of a medical facility run by the Department of Veterans Affairs, so long as the VA site does not offer the needed care. If passed by House and signed into law, the bill would be the second change this year to the so-called 40-mile rule, which requires veterans to demonstrate they live at least 40 miles from a VA health site to get private care. Patrick Voss, SRN News.
A $19 million deal between Target and MasterCard to settle lawsuits stemming from the retailer's massive pre-Christmas 2013 data breach has been scrapped because it failed to get enough support from the affected banks and credit unions. More details at srnnews.com. I'm Ron DeRock.
CRN travelers relax at the beautiful Fountain Grove Inn and Conference Center in Santa Rosa, California. Come to quality and come to luxury. Experience the newly renovated guest rooms. They're generously sized and they're decorated in the Tuscan tradition. They have great, incredible pillow-top mattresses, luxurious linens, and down-filled comforters. The Fountain Grove Inn also offers complimentary Wi-Fi and internet access. There's warm cookies and coffee every evening in the hotel lobby, and you can visit the newly remodeled Equus Restaurant and Equus Lounge with its new wine bar. It's the ideal place to relax and enjoy a glass of wine and watch our What's Cooking on Wine show on CRN with host Larry Van Alst on Wednesdays. It's the Fountain Grove Inn, Hotel, and Conference Center located in the heart of Sonoma wine country. It's easily located in Santa Rosa off the 101 Fountain Grove Parkway exit. Call 707-578-6101. That's 707-578-6101 or visit fountaingroveinn.com.
Called the Oprah of radio by her listeners. Award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com.
Listen to Dr. Pat, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern on CRN.
Talk Rescue.
It's the PM show, nationwide, coast to coast on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Our weekend edition on sports with the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thank you so very much, Michael Horn. Welcome back from the Wine Wars. You were at the Napa Valley.
I was in El Dorado County, and then I was a judge blind tasting wines at the LA International Wine Competition.
There's a lot of perks with being a judge, isn't there?
Someone said to say hello to you, and he has an excellent Super Tuscan blend, and his name is Vinny Ferragamo.
The shoe guy?
No, the former quarterback with your famed Super Bowl bound Rams. Remember him?
Did we have a guy named Ferragamo?
Yeah, you had Vince Ferragamo. He loves you. He listens to the show every week, and he gets a big kick out of hearing you talk sports here as you do. This is the Sultan of safeties for the Rams, 2 safeties in one game, and the Hollywood legend from Hunter all the way up to all the other current roles he's done is the one and only Fred Dreyer.
Remember, if Vinny is listening, remember, Vinny, I don't think it's too late to remind you, throw it to the guy with the ram horns on his helmet. That's who you want to throw the ball to.
He was a little confused, I still think, at the wine taste. It was a little bit. I think he got it.
Drunk. What do you mean? He's confused.
He's got a great Super Tuscan blend, though, right now.
How's that blend coming along?
It's very good. His arm may not be as good. Great Super Tuscan blend.
He'll make up for it.
He is. He wants to come on the show.
He's the best. We'll get him on the show, and we'll all get drunk. He'll have him in studio, and then we'll just eat cheese. And isn't that what you guys do, you wine guys?
No, because you won't allow us to eat cheese. No dairy products.
Here's what we should do. We should consolidate our efforts. Let me have a cheese ranch, and you guys can have the wine. And so together we can have wine and cheese.
That would be great, but you'd make us have the nuts instead. You guys did the little chia seeds you would put on a plate, gourmet style.
Well, that's all. That's
good for you.
Well, that's all part of the knick-knack and the paddywhack that you get when you have a.
But I gave my dog a bone.
When you have guests over, you take them out to the backyard, and you throw the seeds out there and
watch what grows.
Yeah, that's what you do. So anyway. What's the deal here? The biggest news,
we got lots of news.
Is football.
News, yeah.
It's funny. Here it is, baseball season. First of all, let's cover baseball because there's nothing really going on in baseball. There's just not.
Well,
there's nothing going on.
The Houston Astros are amazing everybody. They got the best record in baseball.
We're 40 games in.
$69 million payroll, one of the lowest payrolls.
That's fine. That doesn't
impress you much,
I'm not
does
impressed with any of this stuff anymore. It's 182 games. Let's see where everybody comes out. But the Dodgers are going through a mild slump. They got a lot of injuries.
Only scored 3 runs.
By the way, everybody kept telling me, that, there's powers that be. I won't mention names.
Go ahead.
Now.
Go
Maybe
mention
later
names.
on I will.
Go ahead, mention names.
David Vassegh. All right.
What'd they say?
And that is that, look, Puig has got to start showing up as an adult and be responsible for not only his health but his baseball abilities and climb out of that, I'm just a little puppy in the woods and I can fritter around my talents as best I possibly can. The guy has to learn more than just who to throw the ball to. He has to learn how to take care of himself. And this hamstring thing, and I've said it to you guys a million times, and I'm going to dwell on it when we come back. I'm going to dwell on it till the cows go home. I've seen it all of my adult and my childhood life. People don't come prepared, and they don't know how to stay in shape. And if you're an athlete and you have leg problems, shame on you.
It's the PM Show, weekend edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Michael Horn, Fred Dreyer. Stay with us here on CRN. Fred's got some comments you won't believe.
Get things done with power, comfort, and speed in a Kubota RTV utility vehicle. Now you can get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 4 years during our More Power to You sales event. 0 down, 0% APR financing for terms up to 48 months on select equipment now through June 30th, 2015. Not available for rental, national accounts, governmental customers, or with some customer instant rebate offers. Financing through Kubota Credit Corporation, USA, subject to credit approval. Other exceptions may apply. For more information, call toll-free 1-888-465-8268. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Yeah, rabbits are cute. Squirrels too. Till they ruin your garden, feasting on your plants. Get yourself some Ortho Animal Be Gone. Animal Be Gone uses ingredients that little critters are naturally repelled by, but it won't hurt them. And the No Stink formula works without smelling horrible. Animal Be Gone from Ortho. We don't hurt them. We just chase them. Guaranteed. Learn more about how Animal Be Gone lives up to its name at Ortho.com. Use only as directed.
It's the PM Show, nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. It's the weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn. The star of our show is a man who had 2 safeties in one game, the LA Ram and New York Giant legend in football, the acting superstar from Hunter to Crisis to everything in between, Land's End, just to name a few of the series, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
I'm looking at the newspaper here, and it's Timberwolves are picking number 1, and the Lakers are number 2. And
that's pretty good, huh?
Everybody else is just wherever they are. But the big thing is what is going to happen? What is going to happen on draft day? Who are the Lakers going to get? Are they going to get a big guy, which is either Okafor or this other kid from Kentucky, Towns? This guy, Carl Towns. This guy's supposed to really be something. He can really run the floor. Or, and this is also another possibility.
Yes.
Ohio State guard D'Angelo Russell. There's a chance they could just say, you know what, we're going to bypass on the big guys because we might be able to fill our roster in, later on, at the 27th and the 34th draft pick, somewhere down the road in the first or second round. Get some people right now, but you want to get a ball handler, some guy who was very special, and apparently this guy is. So the Lakers looks like they look as though they could suddenly next year not be bad and could win.
Let's back up a second.
40 games.
You were the one that said the Lakers, since they were so stinky, needed to remain stinky, get the bad record, get in a good position for the draft. They have done that. They've done that exactly.
They're 21-61. They should have been 15 and whatever it was.
Should have. The Knicks are worse. The Knicks way down to the 4th pick right now. They screwed up. They could have been right up there, but they beat Atlanta and a few others at the end of the season. Here's the one problem I see with the Lakers. If Jim Buss listens to Kobe Bryant and Kobe Bryant says, let's go out and get that guy, or they re-sign Kobe Bryant to say, well, re-sign him and bring him back, that's where they could fall into a hole.
Well, I've always said this, and I'm going to say it again. Number one, the last 3 years of how bad this team has been was purposely engineered by the front office.
You think so? Okay.
They said that. They said we're only going to take on 1-year contracts.
Right.
We're only going to take on players that are going to be here from year to year for the next 2 years. So we're saving up to buy some quality players should they choose to come with the Lakers. And then last year it was all this Carmelo Anthony. It was all about Dwight Howard the year before, and all of these things trying to get Kobe a ring. And I always said, forget Kobe, he's done. Let him come back.
Say that.
Let him come back on the team. It's all about these new guys that they found this last year. Clarkson and Ed Davis and all these guys on the team. We all know who they are. That there's about 3 or 4 guys that they're going to be the nucleus, I think, of a pretty good team after this draft. If they get lucky in the draft, which they've gotten lucky, now they can either get a big guy or they get the great ball handler of the draft, Russell, Okafor or Towns. Any of those 3, they're going to be fine. They're going to be on their way back. But as far as Kobe's concerned, Kobe's got 1 year left. I'm sure this has been the thinking. Kobe's going to come back, and what kind of influence is Kobe going to have on this young team? What is it going to be Kobe now saying, well, I'm in my last year, I can see the future. You guys got a big post guy there in the paint, and you've got a good guy, you got a good guy here from last year in the draft. And you've got Clarkson, you've got a nucleus of a pretty good team here. I'm going to now change my game this last year and facilitate these guys,
help them,
and work with them and help them. And I don't want to control the ball. I don't want the last shot of the game or the last quarter or the last half. I don't want to be the guy. I'm not the guy anymore. He has to say that the guy is Russell or the guy is Clarkson or the guy is Okafor if it works out that way. He's got to come out and say, here's my role, and I'm sticking to it. I'm going to play 24 minutes a game, and the team is yours, and I've got 1 year left. I'm going to try to help you win it for all of us. And that has to be it. Because if they bring Kobe Bryant back and say, if he has a good year, we're going to sign him for next year. I don't want him around next year. I want him gone.
See, I told you. You get very upset about this.
No, I do because this team has done some very stupid things, in protecting Kobe and being loyal. That's wonderful to be loyal, but it's stupid because you're ruining the future of the team. They gave him $50 million when they shouldn't have given it to him. And I've said this to you. I remember I said this earlier last year when they were trying to get Carmelo. Nobody of renown, nobody superstar max player wants to come in here and be in second position to help Kobe get his 6th ring. Nobody wants to do that. They want to come here and be the man. And you can't be the man as long as Kobe's here. And so Kobe is going to have to ride this out with a bunch of young players and a young team, help them out at the end of the year, say thanks so much, go to Italy with you. He could go to Italy with you with the wine and the cheese.
And Vince Ferragamo.
And Vinny will be over there. Yeah, exactly. The shoe guy.
We'll take Kelly Clarkson, too. I didn't realize Kelly Clarkson's on the Lakers.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
So
I couldn't
go ahead.
resist
Go
that
ahead. Just go ahead. Hit the.
Okay,
do it for yourself. I know you get a kick out of that.
Yeah, it's something I learned today.
So what you're trying to do is what? You're trying to send the message. You got to keep Jim Buss and the Buss family at the focal point of decision making. You can't have Kobe coming in and saying, you got to get this guy, get that guy. I don't believe he's saying that, and I don't believe they'd allow him to say, gee, Kobe, we're going to run the number 1 pick by you. They don't want that. They'll say, Kobe, this is our team. You're going to fit in, and let Byron Scott put this team together, put the form of the team. What type of an offense? Right. How are they going to play?
I agree with you.
How are they going to play? And it all has to do with welcoming Kobe back to play a role. He's got to play the role. You say, Kobe, you're playing 22 minutes. That's it. And that's it. You got to roll on. Now,
you were going to talk about Puig.
Yeah, I was talking about Puig and David Vassegh.
We were supposed to come back with that one, but you couldn't resist.
In the summertime,